MMA. Hey. Roll it from the roots to today. From the cage to the ring, we say. Old school, new school.
Welcome back, everybody, to Old School, New School. I'm your host, Dante Harris. I'm joined here, as always, with my co-host, Mr. Anthony Harris. Last night, we had some wonderful fights. The almighty Allen ended a streak of an up-and-comer star.
Yes, he did.
Did not expect that. What were your thoughts on that fight?
We've seen a different Arnold. We've seen an aggressive, angry, I ain't taking no shit Arnold.
Right.
And I think he wants some respect on his name. He lost a few fights in a row, but people forgot how good he was. He showed it last night.
Indeed, man. He looked clean. He was not throwing no wild punches. He measured. His distancing was perfect.
Yes.
It was just phenomenal performance by him, man.
Yeah, that jab was money all night. So was that left straight.
Caught him a couple times. Real nice.
But not to take anything away from Milky.
No.
I mean, he fought really well. He just met a big dog. You know, you're climbing the rankings, and this is what to expect from this kind of fight, you know, from there on. Cause
Exactly.
these guys, everything above Arnold's, are killers.
Yeah, this is Costa's taste of the top 10 division at 145, which we know is stacked.
Yeah.
So you got a little taste of what that's like, and Allen showed him what's up. What'd you think of Costa's performance? Is there anything you think he was lacking or he could have done differently?
No, what I think it was a matter of game plans in this fight, and I think that Arnold and his team had a great game plan to smother the kicks, not to let Costa get into a flow, and to make sure that we control all space.
Yeah.
And they did that beautifully.
Yeah, it was a chess match in there too.
It was.
You know. And I honestly thought Allen was going to get him out a little early there with that nice little left he got. But the thing about Costa, he knows how to absorb punches. He really rolls with him really well to where it's not as effective to where when your head is going one way and then you get connected and it's lights out right then and there.
True. He does a very good job. He has some really good moments in that fight too. It's just that Arnold, I think he was just determined. The game plan was set, and he didn't let Costa get into a flow. And that's where Costa is the most dangerous. Using his kicks at distance. Great game plan. Arnold showed that he belongs, and this was a statement fight for him.
It was, man. I'm trying to look where 145's at.
Overall stats, if you look at total strikes, 156 for Arnold to 118. Significant strikes is 98 to 100. Costa actually beat him in significant strikes by 2. Percentage-wise, though, it was 70% total strikes and 64% for significant strikes. 7 for 7 for takedowns as well for Arnold.
Wow.
That's a big deal.
That
And
was
0 for 4.
expected.
Yeah. So he kind of did a whole complete mixed martial art fight last night. He did an excellent job.
Yeah, man. And who do we give him next? Now, this is a good bounce back after losing to Jean Silva, a decision, which he even thought should have went his way. He was upset about that one, which I think it was a good decision.
So at 145.
145.
Hmm.
Now we're looking here. I don't know why it's not put. There we go.
Well, I think he's still going to have to fight his way. Fend off his position because of the losses. He doesn't get to go really up the ladder.
Yeah.
So, he did a great performance, didn't get a finish, but I think he has to face people like Garcia, Zalal.
That's why I'm leaning either Zalal or Yair.
Yair's a good one. Yair's. But I think Yair, he's number 5.
Yeah, but he fights. Oh, God, this dude's activity is...
It's minimal.
At best.
I would just say, for me personally, I would think that he has to fight off one more up-and-comer.
I know Steve Garcia is lined up to fight Diego already.
Zalal's not a perfect pick, too.
I like Zalal. Getting that loss against Aljamain. Get a little bounce-back guy who's there right next to each other in the rankings.
Right.
You know?
And it allows Zalal either to move up and take that spot or for Allen to say, I'm at 7 and ain't nobody taking this spot for me.
And now I'm moving up.
Now I'm
making my way, my climb up to the belt.
Right.
And I love that matchup.
I think it's a great one.
Yeah.
So.
Hell yeah. Let's take it on to the next one. Oh, also, before we move on, performance of the night went to Allen. That's our performance of the night for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Like we weren't even going for him. We had Costa in this fight, both of us.
Yeah, we did.
We thought, he was coming through, just whooping everybody, finishing people that's never been finished before. Not this time.
Not this time. It was a different Arnold, though. You have to agree.
Yeah,
It
different
wasn't-
Arnold, polished, clean,
Yeah,
veteran. He looked like a freaking vet up in there
with an attitude.
with an attitude.
And that was the difference, I
Mhm.
think. He's got to change and find a way to, once he walks into that cage, because he seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just a really good fighter, but you have to have that edge. And last night he proved that.
Yes, the FU edge.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so performance, man, straight to Allen, which leads us to the co-main. Fight of the night, as well as KO of the night. Now, UFC doesn't give out KO and sub of the nights no more, but we do.
Yes.
And knockout of the night has to go to my man Choi. After a whoop, man, such a fun fight to watch.
It was.
Straight from the bell, Santos came and gave it his all. He wanted to finish this dude quick, fast, and hurry in the first round because he was getting to be known as the Korean killer.
Right.
They're like, oh, shit. But nah, that didn't intimidate Choi.
That's what he said. Not here. Not here. I got the Korean zombie in my damn back.
Yeah. He said, I'm protecting my Korean brethren.
That's
I'm
right.
avenging them. And that's what he did.
He did that.
So Santos came out, a lot of heat. But you saw halfway through the second, my man was gassed. He had nothing left because he was throwing kicks, fucking hooks. And
Yeah, 5, 6, 7 shot combinations.
Yeah.
I think that was a big downfall for him.
Mhm.
He was still good in the second round. I think the third round really killed him because Choi started to get a piece of those jabs, found his timing.
Did they make it to the third?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought it ended in the second.
It ended in the second. That's what I said, right? Not the third. I'm
Yeah, it ended
sorry.
in the second.
Yeah, so I just thought that Choi started to find his timing really well. That jab set everything up.
Mhm.
And, Santos wanted to kill early, and he made a huge mistake right there. That was a miscalculation.
And Choi endured and sniped him.
Sniped him.
I mean, the thing is, I even thought Santos had him a couple times. So like, I don't even know how Choi's standing right
Man,
now. He hit him with some
telling
clean
you.
shots.
I think the zombie in his corner helped that. He's part being zombie right now
Hell yeah.
because he got cracked up a few times with some good shots. If you look at the overall striking, though, it's pretty close. 79 for Choi and 74 total strikes for Santos. 72 significant strikes to 72. I mean, even the overall striking, if you looked at 186 that was totally thrown, 39% landed on both significant and total. So, and then higher percentage, 50% for Choi. And those make a big difference, when you're throwing strikes and you're missing. That's a lot of energy you're spending. So, 50% for Choi to be connecting on, it's a good percentage.
Making them count.
And he made it in,
And that body shot, boy. Ooh.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
That's what you do, right? You wait till they gas out, and then you go after the body. It doesn't take much.
It doesn't. And then you're looking at the no, that wasn't catchweight. Okay, so you're looking at Choi at featherweight. Where does he go from here?
Unranked, correct?
Yes.
And I think it's probably time for him to get a ranking.
I think he proved something tonight. I mean, he was against an unranked fighter. But
I think he's on a little bit of a streak.
He is.
To where he deserves probably someone on the bottom there to see if he's what he seems to
What
be.
he's capable of doing.
Yes.
Maybe Pitbull.
Pitbull. That's what we called out.
I think he did.
That's what we called out, and I love that call out.
That's a good fight for him.
My man Pitbull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's under a fight contract.
But I mean, look at here, man. We got my man Choi's on a 3-fight winning streak now.
I would
say
even Pico, even Aaron Pico.
Ooh, after that huge win he just had.
But Pico's trying to move up, so it's kind of hard. You got to look at these guys that are ranked that are moving down, like Brian Ortega. Guys that are moving up in the rankings, they shouldn't have to fight behind.
Unless they lose and have to prove their spots again.
Like,
if they're climbing or they meet another up-and-comer that are on the same path.
Exactly, and that makes it so much more interesting.
Yeah.
Like, Ortega has to fight for that 11.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And if you got a guy like Choi that's moving up, why not give him a shot to get into the rankings? Pitbull's fine, but if you want to climb him, let's give him Ortega.
Yeah.
See if he can handle that.
I like both those matchups.
Because Ortega has to prove himself still in the division. We know
yeah.
that. And it's a tough division to have to prove yourself in, especially with all these up-and-comers.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that would be a great matchup.
Yeah, there's no pick and choosing here. You're gonna have to defend your position.
You're right about that. There's
That's how
no
we
picking
do.
and choosing.
Now, next fight. Malcolm Wellmaker. And what's his name? Juan Diaz?
Juan.
Debut from Diaz.
16-1.
I think they were hoping Malcolm would get a nice, easy little rebound after that tough loss because he obviously had a lot of hype behind him. I don't think so.
In those lower weight divisions, I really don't think there's any easy jobs. There's no layups.
No layups.
You know what I'm saying? For Malcolm, I think they had a bad game plan. What they did last fight when he lost against Ewing, right? Which was a really good fight, but it showed there was levels to the game, and Ewing was much better than Malcolm. Mm-hmm. Malcolm felt that he rushed himself, and I thought that Malcolm was just trying to get backs in the fight. You know what I mean? And that's something you can't do. You get hit twice, you want to get him back. You can't go rush into these situations, and that's what Malcolm did. So this game plan was to slow down and to pick our shots. Proved to be the wrong method.
Right.
You know what I mean? This game is ever evolving, and it's always changing. You can't say, I need to be more patient in this, and then the next fight, your patience is your downfall.
Yeah.
So those kind of game plans about patience is something hard. Now, your patience come when you got somebody hurt, not in the fight. Your patience doesn't come there. You got to unload. You got to set the tone, and you cannot give space. Once you give space, that leads to the rhythm of the other fighter. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think Malcolm in that patience game worked in his.
It's about picking and choosing when to be patient, when to be aggressive, knowing not to let your opponent get in the groove, get comfortable, disrupt their comfortability.
That's right.
With your strikes, but then let yourself be in your own element.
That's right. You can't. The patience that it was his downfall in this fight because Malcolm has great hands and he has power with those hands. Set the tone with those. You have a great body kick. Set the tone with your hands. Let people know they can't come across this line, you know? So I just think it was a bad error in judgment for that fight. We obviously know that Malcolm is a very talented fighter, but there are no layups in this game. Wasn't a lot of strikes thrown in this fight. 15-18 and 15-13 in total strikes. So it just came down to the submission.
Yeah, and Diaz, man, he's pretty legit.
He is.
He looks pretty good, man.
He does look good.
And he's from Peru, right?
Yeah, yep. Peruvian.
So it's definitely a dude to look out for, man.
Tough kid, man.
5 takedowns.
He looks good. And Malcolm is it's not about going back to the drawing board. It's about a mindset now.
Yeah, just
that's
be
all.
you.
That's all it is. And you know, this loss doesn't hurt you at all. Mm-hmm. It really doesn't. You're a good fighter, and you'll bounce back even better.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
Hell yeah. On to the next. We have Bukowskis fighting in a late notice because Rodolfo fell out.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure why, but they can bring in Christian Edwards.
And this fight was at a catchweight.
Catchweight, yeah. They met up at 215 since it was like 5 days notice for your boy. This is a fight where you expect a guy like Bukowskis. You know, he's getting a guy who's debuting in the UFC. His record is nothing crazy. You expect Bukowskis to come in and put on a statement. Show that this is the UFC. This is what the level's like. It was honestly a pretty even battle for the most part.
It was a good even fight.
Yeah.
It really was. And like you just said, you have to separate yourself. Otherwise, you're always going to be this mediocre guy. And these are these moments where you have to come through. A guy's coming in. Nobody knows who he is. Keep it that way.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't make a name off of me. Even though you won the fight, it's a statement. They put you in these situations for a reason. So, and on Edwards' side, you got to give him credit, man. The guy came off of 5 days' notice and he fought 3 rounds pretty well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He did pretty good. And I think in a real camp, might even be a different fight.
Might even be a win for Edwards.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, some things on Bukowskis' side that I saw was there was 2 instances where he tagged him up really good. He had him stunned. He had him on his back foot, and he ends up clinching him.
Yeah.
and not even doing nothing with the clinch. He's pretty much just holding and trying to get his his oxygen back. While Edwards, he's recovering. He's back in the game again.
Yeah, we see that a lot though.
Mm.
The situation. I mean, sometimes it comes to that, but I mean, strategy wise, you got to know in these situations. That's where your patience come in, right?
Mm.
Keep your distance, land your little
Take your
strikes
shots.
there. That's where the patience come in.
Yeah.
I don't think I was impressed with either fighter, but it was a good fight for Christian off of 5 days to fight somebody that's been in the UFC for a long time. 20-7 overall record. Not a lot of punches thrown in either side. 52-51, 36-36 in significant strikes, and no takedowns.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so
But they're probably giving Edwards a contract for this one.
I wouldn't doubt it. He
I
showed
mean,
he
come on, you're
belonged.
coming in for 5 days and you
Yeah.
last all 3 rounds. Like, come on, you saved this fight.
Yeah.
So he probably is gonna get his contract, and then he gets fights to prove and show us what he's really like with a full camp.
I think he's all right. I mean, he's a big body. He's got good striking, pretty good striking, and I hope they give him a chance.
Yeah. Next, let me get on this real quick. Timmy Kwamba
And Bernardo.
at the 135 division. Now, this was a super fun striking match.
I liked it a lot.
It was so fun to watch, man.
Mhm.
But it seemed like Bernardo was just a little too much.
Just a step faster.
Mm.
Every decision made was quicker. Outstruck him. Timothy got caught. Got knocked down.
Yeah.
Took advantage. I think that was the change of the fight right there. Because early on, I think Timothy looked pretty good. His striking looked pretty good. But Bernardo was just a better fighter tonight. He was last night. He was just a better fighter.
And sick, slick submission. He didn't even have to get his hooks in. It was done because he was already so stunned.
Yeah.
All he had to do was get it under the neck and it was over.
Pretty much so. But he's somebody I think you should watch in this division. He's a young guy that's hungry, talented, and he's a direct MMA fighter. He's well-rounded. And you have to be in those divisions, man. The smaller divisions, you can't be like, you know what I'm saying? You got to be skilled in every aspect of the game. Interesting fight. I liked it.
I really enjoyed this fight. You know, there's what you're seeing from these fight night cards, even though there's not a lot of name power or ranked fighters that you see on the card, there's a huge wave of newcomers coming from all around the world that are really changing the game, dude. Like, you just like, this new generation they're
coming in skilled already.
Super skilled.
Yep.
So definitely keep your eyes out on Sopae. I think that's how you say it. Now, let's talk about some chaos from the man Chaos Williams. Welterweight debut for my man. Probably a tough cut.
I don't know how he made that cut.
Both of them. Both pretty big dudes, man.
They are.
But Chaos, obviously, we know him for having a lot of power. He can knock people out. And now he's bringing it down to the 170 division.
Yep.
And he kept the power.
He did. Oh, for sure. Nikita, he's a technical striker, good striker. One thing you got to know when you fight against Chaos, you can't go back in a straight line. That's very important because he comes in and he looks for your head in a straight line. And if he connects, you're usually going to go down just like you did. I like Chaos, man, and I think it's a great bounce back fight for him to get this win against a pretty tough guy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was a good matchup, good little debut for him. I think that's also one thing that we've seen from Nikolai. The movement of his head was even the last fight we saw him in, where it's like he's just a little too stiff, you know?
Yeah. Boom, boom, off the line. You don't see it.
No.
But yeah, it was a good performance for Chaos. And he had a great quote that he heard from the new mayor. And he said, you cannot move forward and backwards at the same time. So we just wanted to repeat that.
And that is true.
Yeah, so we like that.
One or the other, man.
Yep, and Chaos seems like he wants to move forward, and he's doing good, surrounding himself by good people. And here's the result.
Yeah, man, and he looks like he seems just like such a genuine dude too. I'm a big Chaos fan.
Me too.
There's just some things that needs to be polished, even on the striking. You know, you can't just rely on the power. There's just some things that you're gonna have to work on. But listen, I think he's still young in the game, and he's got a lot to learn. Yeah. So as long as he just stays hungry, man, and teachable, coachable, sky's the limit.
I mean, yeah.
Now, Let's talk about some big old boys, 205ers. I mean, this was a fun one too, right here. They were throwing down. Mr. Toko and Urslan. Let me pull it up. I already missed the last one. Slow on my thing.
Yeah, that was a pretty interesting fight.
Back and forth on the feet. You know, what's the name? I keep mixing up the last names because it could be either one. But Urslan, that's the ball head one, right?
Yes, Urslan is the ball head.
Urslan was piecing them up, especially early in the first. And then huge comeback from Toko's at the end of the first. And then Urslan was like, nah, I'm just going to take this man down. And that's pretty much all she wrote for the most part.
I think Tokos needs to work on cutting his hair. He had more touches to his hair than jabs.
Damn.
And, you know, that's just the truth.
You're not lying, dude.
It's just the truth. Ivan could take a punch because he got cracked pretty good. And he put the pressure on. This was an interesting back-and-forth fight early on. But once they got to the ground and the ground strikes were taken, I think that separated the fight. If you look at the total strikes, 57 for Tokos, 118 for Ivan.
Those are all ground strikes.
Yeah, all ground strikes. Significant strikes. Tokos won 54-37. But the percentages were 71 for total strikes for Ivan and 56% also for total significant strikes. So he landed better and more often.
Yeah.
And the result was the win for him.
It sure was. That was a solid win.
It was.
It was not a bad fight, but Tokos, cut your hair, man. It's okay. You can grow it out and look lavish in the summertime or when you're off in the off season, whatever. But
yeah, when you fight, man, you touching your hair too much.
way too much, man. Now, I'm pretty excited to talk about this next one.
Me too.
Let me scroll down real quick. Here we are.
Tommy.
The 155 division. Tommy Gant making his UFC debut, right?
Yeah, and he looked good, man.
Against another guy who came in short notice. Young cat, 22.
Yes.
Go ahead, take it away.
No, I mean, Tommy looked really good. His wrestling was solid. It looks like he wanted to get the guy out of there. He wasn't looking for any submissions. He had great opportunities to get hooks in when he in the ground and pound, but he chose to ground and pound. Yeah. I think Arthur made a statement about if he wants to wrestle, I'll show him about wrestling or some statement like that. And that might have been a mistake.
Again, was like, okay, show me.
Yeah, that might have been a mistake. This boy was solid.
One cool thing about this fight, we can compare it to a fight that we had last week, Pat Sabatini. Now, same situations where both of these fighters were trying to take their opponent down for an entire round, basically. Now, there was a huge difference, though, in the way they were doing it, right?
Right.
Pat Sabatini, there was no volume, there was no change up in his attempts to take. It was just kind of like
body positioning.
Yeah.
That was it. That was basically all it was. You're talking about the cage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Couldn't do nothing. While Gant he had the full body lock on him. He was putting him down. He got up, he was putting him down. He was throwing strikes. And he was being way more aggressive with it.
He was. He was trying to look for those positions to land strikes. You know what I mean? He wasn't just holding him against the fence, you know? He got him down. I think Arthur got tired, but Tommy showed that he's got a really good, solid wrestling base. And that's a really good thing to see.
For sure.
Especially for that weight division.
And that's DC's boy right here.
Yeah, and he's 12-0. He's 12-0.
Yeah.
So he's somebody that you guys got to keep an eye on.
So one thing that was missing that I think both of us were hoping to see was just some more hooks once he got the back. There was no hook, putting the hooks in or nothing to seal the deal, to get the back, secure the back, which is what led to Arthur to get up a lot of the times. Or Archer, what do you say his name?
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. It was still too much. And at the end, man, ground and pound and finished him with a nice little at the end. Just
BAM! Yeah, just a little extra
for good measure. For you to remember me by.
Yeah. I thought it was a great performance for Tommy, and he's somebody we got to look at, keep an eye on.
For sure, man.
You know what I mean? Especially if he's training with DC and them.
Listen, your wrestling's phenomenal. Just strike. That's all.
Yeah.
Just do that and just because the wrestling's going to come natural to you.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see his next fight, man, and see how he does. Because he left unscathed. So we should be able to see him soon.
Yeah. I would agree.
Now, girl fight. Couple girl fights. First, we'll mention the 2 ranked girls that we have right here.
Caitlin and Jacqueline.
Number 5, and I think she was number 12, the girl from Portugal. Portugal. Kellen Vieira, she needed this one
She did.
to protect her spot. You know, the thing about the girl division, it doesn't take much to climb up the ladder.
2 wins.
And all, yeah,
In a row.
basically. And it doesn't take much to fall right out again. You
Yeah.
know, that's why you see a lot of like top 5s fighting people that are just entering the top 15. There's just not a lot of
Stacked talent.
yeah, exactly. So, but Vieira looked phenomenal.
Yes, she did.
Striking.
Yeah.
I was struck her in the
striking.
first, man. Like she looked fantastic.
Then she went to her bread and butter.
Bread and butter in the second, took it down, sealed the deal, up
Mhm.
2 rounds, and the third she just had to survive. Just
Yep.
not get knocked out. And she was catching up, though. Old girl in the third was catching up.
She was.
And she was tagging her up pretty nice, but it just wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. I think Jacqueline's she's still early, new in the
Yeah,
sport.
this
you
is
know?
like a second, third fight in the UFC.
Yeah, so she's
brand new.
She's good enough to learn a lesson from this,
Like you said, just string 2 wins together, you're back in contention, my
without
friend.
a doubt. Just take it as a learning lesson.
Yeah.
You know, be a little
Real
more,
young.
be more aggressive.
Mhm.
Just be more aggressive. I think she respected Caitlin's power.
And then she learned in the third, like, actually, I can kind of just
exactly.
let
I can
loose.
take this. Yeah,
Because
I
her
can take
striking
this.
is really nice. She's really
Mhm.
long, and she's real talented.
She comes from a kickboxing background.
You can tell.
Yeah, she has some really good strikes.
How about
But I think she just respected Jacqueline a little bit too much. It's okay though. I mean, Jacqueline. She respected Caitlin a little bit too much, and that cost her the fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. And she has to learn a little bit more on the ground to get away from these situations.
Mhm.
So
Hell yeah, man. Well, it was good. It was a good fight. It was
it
fun
was
to
a
watch.
good fight.
Which leads us on to. Oh yeah. All right. The middleweights, Cody Brundage and Andre Petroski. Now, I think this fight, both of their careers were on the line right here. Their jobs was on the line.
Yes.
You know, not both of these fights, they don't have the greatest careers. They're always kind of like win
and
loss
down,
win
up and
loss
down.
type careers. So this meant a lot for both of them.
It did.
Now, urgency. I wouldn't even say there was really much urgency as you'd expect, but once the second round started, though, Cody woke up a little bit.
You know, we'll speak a little extra about Cody since he's a Colorado boy.
Hell yeah.
When we watch him, we like Cody a lot, and we think that we've talked about this before, that it's more of a mental thing for him. I wish he would kind of have the mentality that Arnold took last night. You know what I mean? You see he's explosive. You see he's powerful. He can wrestle, but you always see him in his mind.
All the time.
All the time.
With his little smirk, looking like he's like, I
Shoulda got him.
I should have threw that. Oh, I should have added to
Yeah.
that combo. You know, it's always that's what hurts you. And you know the great coach Zahabi, he's got a lot of great fighters on them. GSP being one of them,
Right.
one of the greatest to ever do it. And he literally said, I won't take any fighters who need a mental coach. You know, people that have to have like these
Encouraged in different
like
ways.
physical, like these psychological therapists who kind of
Right.
change up your whole mind, which could be very beneficial to others. But he wants the killers that are just born
Yeah.
killers. That's just in their mind. They don't have that second thought.
There's a switch. There's a switch, and I'm sure Cody has it. If he gets out of his mind, maybe get the mentality kill or be killed, because
Yeah.
he's powerful enough to land these strikes. He's good enough wrestling wise to stop takedowns or even get takedowns. Just be aggressive, man. Just be first. That's all I would say.
Yeah.
After watching your career for a long period of time, just be first. Don't doubt yourself, man. You are skilled enough to knock these people out and to be a force. That's what I think. After watching you for a long time,
And
man.
I mean, we saw it. The coach literally said after the first round, listen, let's win the first round, be aggressive, push it, and the rest will come. Because that's what it is, right? It's that getting into it, getting that first punch off, getting punched kind of just wakes you up. It's like, all right, this is a fight. It's time for me to wake up and do what I do.
Right.
Because this is literally my life.
That's
you know?
right. I mean, some fights are strategic. You know, if you go into a certain situation, you could get caught this way, that way. But if you're first, you're powerful, you're quick, you're explosive, That means you have all of the things that you need to do to take the initiation of the fight to your opponent. And Cody has all of that. He has all of that.
Yeah. A good win for Cody, man. And I wonder if we'll still see Petrosky. I don't know. They haven't said anything yet. But if anything, he's right on the cusp, my friend.
He is. He could be in the PFL before we know it.
He might become champ at
That's possible.
All right. UFC gave
Oh.
Alice the performance of the night. Now,
Yeah.
this.
We gave her the submission of the night.
Yes, submission of the night, dude. This was sick, man. They were going at it from the beginning to the end, dude. Throwing elbows, freaking the whole nine.
Yeah.
It was a super fun fight to watch. Now, once it got to the ground, Viana put this deep body triangle on her, and it was super deep. And she was hitting with some nasty elbows from down low. I'm surprised none of them split Alice up. But Alice said, hold up. I've seen this position in an Instagram video before. All you got to do is just lean back. You got to hook in that little, get a little foot in the inside of your leg.
Right.
I just had to sit up. And that was it. That was the first time we've ever seen a submission like that.
What's funny about that is during the fight, I said to Dante, what is she doing trying to clear her leg in a body lock?
Yeah.
I didn't understand what her movement was. She was looking for that perfect position to put her foot underneath.
Mhm.
And I didn't see it. But then when she did it, I was like, oh, my God.
And this wasn't accidental. She
she
was
did it purpose.
going for it.
Yeah, she did.
Because she did, as soon as she stepped back, she already looked at the ref like, yo, you want to call it?
Yeah. Yeah, that was, and it only takes a second to get it in. And she wasn't getting out of that body lock, I tell you that. Viviana was tagging her up with some nice elbows, but once she sat up and realized the position she was in, she used it. And it was submission of the night as far as I'm concerned.
It was nasty, man.
It was nasty.
It was nasty. That's definitely submission of the night.
Yeah.
Dude. And Alice, man, I kind of like her.
Oh, I like Alice
really
too.
like her.
I do too. She seems like a humble person, but she likes to fight.
Yeah.
Romanian girl, right?
Yes. She looks
Yes.
like a little problem, man.
Yeah, she might be.
So keep an eye out for Alice.
I always like Viviana, but she just seems to be losing these fights. I want her to win so bad, you know.
She is good, man. She's really good. She also seems like one of those fighters. If she were to go to another organization, she'd probably be the champ or something. You
She's
know,
just a little too stiff.
Mm.
That's for me. She's just too stiff.
What division was that? Was strawweight, right?
Yeah. But I like Viviana, even though she
don't
took
go
the
down
loss.
from there. Hell yeah. And I mean, early on in the card,
Oh,
we had these flyweight. These dudes were throwing too.
yes.
What a way to start it off. 178 strikes to 117.
They were throwing down.
That's a lot of strikes.
Yeah, they were throwing down. I like this fight a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And it was a good win for Luis.
Yeah.
Luis.
I thought it was a great fight. Back and forth, a lot of skill, a lot of up and down, good striking.
Yeah.
You're always going to see that kind of energy in these light fights, man.
Yeah.
But this is the one that started us off, right?
Well, the one that
female
started
fight?
it off was the female fight
Right.
between Shauna Bannon and Nicole Cagliari. Nasty little submission from Nicole.
Yes, it was. She's tough, man.
Mm-hmm.
She's built like a little tank.
Yeah.
She's tough.
She really is.
Somebody,
I remember her from the Contender series. She's pretty nice.
she's somebody to watch, man. She looks like she's well coached as well.
Yeah. Overall, man, nothing too crazy to mention about this card, but it was a fun card. Congratulations to Arnold Allen for getting that comeback rebound. No, it feels so good.
Oh, yeah.
You deserve it,
It does.
and I hope you get that baby soon that you're trying to get. Now, let's move on to the news. It was announced officially. My co-host's favorite fighter of all time is returning to the octagon. He was so excited. Like, I had to literally tell him to, like, bro, relax. We get it. We know you like Conor. But McGregor's coming back. Coming back to fight Max Holloway, who Max Holloway arguably probably hitting the second peak right now in his career against the McGregor who hasn't been in the octagon for 2-3 years. Coming off of a bad injury.
More than 2 years.
Wasn't it 2020? No, it was. Oh, yeah, way more. It was like 4 years now.
Yeah. And to correct the record, never been my favorite fighter. Couldn't care if he came back at all. At all.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I'm excited for it. I love it because first of all, I love to just watch Max Holloway fight,
That's what I'd say.
and also I want to see what McGregor looks like. I think this is going to be an easy win for Max. I think he's going to finish him easily, but still, I just want to see what McGregor's going to look like after going through his little crazy phase, dude. This dude's on freaking drunk and on drugs all the freaking time, and now he's going to want to get his shit together and then go do a real camp because camps are brutal. And also, they didn't even specify where they're what division they're fighting in. Is it 155?
I don't know. I doubt that.
Because that's such a crazy
I
cut.
doubt that.
And then if it's 170, Max ain't not, it's not a 170 guy. He doesn't even have to cut for that fight.
well,
You know, so that's an interesting one for me.
well, you know what's funny about that? I bet you Chandler's pissed.
Is he though? He does get the White House card.
He gets the White House card, but he's pissed.
He
He's
wanted that one
pissed.
so bad.
Yeah. It's a good.
But let me
fight.
see if
It's
it's
a good
listed as a it is listed as welterweight.
fight. Okay.
So
170.
Max at 170.
He might even be more dangerous because he ain't got to cut nothing, man.
Nothing, but
I don't know.
cutting it. They
but-
cut for a reason.
So for me, I could be proved wrong, but the game has passed him by. I think the game has passed him by. You know, everybody's talking about it, you know, his striking and this, that, the other. The game has passed him by.
Probably, yeah.
That's what I think. Maybe you guys see something different, but this game is ever evolving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not a bad choice.
Yeah.
for
I
him
mean,
to have that fight.
the only thing I've
against-
seen of McGregor doing anything with combat is beating up little amateur boxers, you know.
Yeah,
which,
that's what I mean.
Come on, man. This is different.
The game has changed. I think it has passed him by.
But seeing that Max at 170 is gonna be crazy. He's gonna have to just drop 5 pounds and he's good to go. He's probably gonna have a good camp because he gets to eat, you know, he gets to relax.
Right. And he gets the revenge.
Yep. And I mean, obviously McGregor is not a wrestler, so it's not like that weight that he's cutting is gonna play a factor in like some type of grappling exchange. It's gonna be pure striking, and the BMF is gonna fuck him up.
That's what I say.
Hell yeah.
That's
Now-
what I say.
Where we at?
Are we trying to
I thought I
mention
had my thing.
anything about this Netflix?
Oh
event?
yeah, of course. Of course, we'll mention the Jake Paul MVP card. What is there to say? I mean, I wasn't expecting too much. They had a lot of old heads in there, a lot of matchups just to make matches. And
I've seen a lot of lights in the stadium.
ooh, what you trying to say? Trying to say no one bought tickets?
That's all I'm saying. I've seen a lot of lights, a lot of empty seats. I will give Ngannou his props for he looked good. He looked strong. He looked fast. He looked dominant. We expected that against somebody that he outweighed by like 40-some pounds. But I don't want to take anything away from his opponent
Yeah,
for stepping in and doing his job the best that he could.
he's making money.
He's making money. And the only other thing that I would say about the card would be Nate Diaz, man, love you, man. Loved you from the beginning. It's time to stop. It is. It's just time to stop, man. You got a family now, don't you? You have a daughter. It's just time to stop, man.
Yeah.
know-
So wait, who?
Diaz.
Oh, yeah.
It
Diaz
is.
looked. My man looked old, dude. He looked washed, my friend.
And it's sad to say that about you. But there's a time in every man's life where he can no longer do the things that he loves in his heart. And this is that time. I
Mhm.
mean, you just got to recognize it, man. We all go through it,
Yeah.
no matter what it is. But there's a time you recognize it. And I don't want to say this like disrespectfully, but after a certain period of time, you look like a fool.
Yeah.
You're not quite there yet, but I think it's time.
It's also, I mean, it's the thing with Nate and Nick Diaz, their fighting style. It does not help them later on in their career. This is because cardio is their number one thing. They don't even hit you hard. They just like, you know, tag you up, you know what I mean? They do it for 5 whole rounds, and at the end, you're like, man, I can't take no more of this. You're not gonna do that at this age no more. Nate was gassed out halfway through the
He
first
was,
already. Where I'm
and
like,
he-
this doesn't even look nothing like Nate.
Right.
Almost looked like he didn't even train. He was like, fuck, I'm just gonna get this fucking cash and dip.
And if he did, that's cool too.
You know?
But Yeah, I don't think that organization is going to be able to sustain itself. Maybe in boxing, with these celebrity fights or stuff like that, maybe. But I don't think as far as MMA, like all the talk that they were doing, you didn't bring. You brought Junior Del Santos in there,
Right,
juiced up on something,
dude.
because he was all jacked. Come on, man,
Yeah.
Junior.
They had
Come
to wake that
on.
dude up from the couch, man.
Man, yeah, it's a disrespect kind of. Well, I don't want to say that.
It's cool bringing fighters back, but at the same time, like
It
Dos
is,
Santos, he's had his run. You know,
like
he-
15 years ago.
he's done it. He's done it all.
Yeah,
And I get it that it's cool to get paid and all, but at the same time, like, bro, protect your head, protect your brain.
but I mean,
fighting against some dude, this Cuban cat. Remember
There-
that dude? He's not in the UFC no more, huh? What the hell happened?
I don't know. I mean, if you want to, right, if they really wanted to build the organization, you're going to have to go grab Brazilians and Russians. That's what you're going to have to do. And build it off people. You don't have names, but you have great fighters.
Yeah.
That's how they build their names.
And that's when you start bringing conversations like, yo, what would this crossover look like between this
Right.
champ from UFC versus the champ over here on the MVP?
Right. And then maybe you could do that with more PFL than you would be able to do it with the
Yeah.
UFC. UFC ain't going to do any of that.
Yeah, what else? Moraes had a pretty nice rear naked choke finish.
But he lost that whole fight.
Oh yeah,
He lost.
I only saw the finish. I
Yeah,
didn't
he
even get to
lost the
sit down and
fight.
Watch it.
And the flying knee that he didn't really land. Oh boy, just got off balance. But he caught him in the perfect position in the last few seconds and
Yeah.
put him to sleep.
Nice.
And it was a legit put to sleep.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about the main event we all been waiting for. Not
Oh,
me, but-
please.
So the main event, the headline it all, the two retired women who've been out of the game for over like 10 years, lasted a good 17 seconds. It was just a takedown into like a 1 ground and pound punch into an arm bar, and that's all she wrote.
How many times she's done that?
That's what she's been doing
That's
her whole
only-
career.
Like, but the only thing that I'm going to say about that fight is I got mad respect for Gina to lose 100 pounds.
Dude, she got paid over millions of dollars to lose 100
But
pounds.
she lost them. That's a hard thing to do, man. That's some hard training for her to get into to do that. That's the respect I got about her for doing what she did. I don't care about that fight at all.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like here it's saying the demand for the tickets were extremely weak.
Extreme.
You know, Ticketmaster seat maps displayed massive blocks of unsold sections. Live television broadcasts of the prelims and main card visibly showed a large number of empty arena seats.
A lot of lights.
I think after a while, they even had to like lower the ticket prices because it was just like, they're like, I'm not paying for this.
I might have been passing them out on the block.
Yeah, right. I was even looking, if you look on social media, all it was like people, oh man, I'm so excited for this fight to just be over.
Yes.
So it's not on my timeline no more, you know? Like,
That's hilarious.
yeah, I mean, it's always cool to have new organizations giving these outlets to other fighters, but at the same time, they made it seem so much bigger than it actually was. Like, it's supposed to be the new taking over.
I mean, it looked fantastic.
It looked great.
The venue was, it looked
I actually really liked the
fantastic.
black canvas, and the camera was amazing too. It was
of
really crisp.
Like, all of that was really, really good. But the quality of fighters,
Yeah.
it's not going to sustain an audience. Not with Ronda, Nate, and Ngannou. Ngannou's he's gonna fill the crowd for a certain portion. You know what I mean? People want to see him maybe get beat or what he does. But the only way that MVP can actually fill that arena is if Ngannou fights John Jones.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no other way. There's no other names.
That's the one to do, man.
It ain't gonna happen because John's still under UFC contract.
Bullshit.
I bet.
I think he is, yeah.
And you know they're gonna hold tight to that.
That's some bull, dude. That's just so ugly.
I know. Because
You
I mean,
can't
as
even be your own man, dude.
if they had like the freelancer fighter where you can be signed for just like one fight or two fights for different promotions,
That'd be cool.
now-
If that was like it said on your contract, you get one freebie. You can do whatever you want during this contract in your 4-fight contract with the
one
UFC.
per year.
You get one freebie. Do what you want. sign another contract, you get another freebie, go make some extra money.
Something.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at the money they were making. You know, they said Francis made 1.5. Nate made more than Mike Perry from losing. And I'm
Man.
looking at these numbers like there's no way UFC can't pay these fighters that.
And
1.5 easily they pay the champs that.
Of course they can pay that. And especially if you look at the crowd that's at the UFC.
Yeah.
They can pay it. If these guys, I mean, obviously,
I think they
Netflix
do.
took
That's
a
what I'm saying.
loss.
Like the champions that really sell tickets, they easily make a couple
Oh,
mil.
they do. Nobody's getting outpaid there.
So I'm thinking like, how much money does Francis really make outside of the UFC more?
Than what he would have made?
Yeah.
I don't think much more. Well, I don't know. The boxing, I think he made a lot more.
Boxing, yeah,
For MMA and this fight, he didn't make that. I mean,
Right.
for me, that's a lot.
obviously.
But it's not boxing money. Boxing is always going to make that kind of money. UFC has the ability to pay
Boxing
five.
money.
No, not so much boxing
I
money.
think they could. They doing it with these boxers.
Yeah, that's true too.
You know,
Signing to these,
they're
big
able
contracts.
to,
They're able to. There's no doubt about that. Being
but
a
it's all
billion-dollar-
about making it also fair throughout the card. Whereas boxing is missing the bottom of the card, ain't making jack. Whereas the top two fights are making all the money. That's where the discrepancy happens a lot.
For me, like if you're going to sign a fighter, right? That fighter shouldn't be working UPS.
Hell no.
That's what I'm saying. If I
Agreed.
signed a contract with them, you know what I mean? Like when I
We
played
got you.
basketball, I played, if they provided a job in Europe for a job within that contract, 2 hours a day, coaching kids,
That's cool.
something like that. That's cool. But that was part of the contract. But if you do say, like if you have, Americans are different than a lot of different countries. If you're coming from an Eastern Bloc country, a Russian country where you're not making that kind of money for doing anything, of course you're going to sign a contract with the UFC. Of course you are. But if you're an American and you've seen all this boxing money your whole life, you're surrounded by all this wealth, and you see how big the organization is, you're saying to yourself, like, damn, like, what the fuck? And I understand that. But I don't know. Look at the state boxing is in totally, and then look at the state of the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
I argue for the fighters always.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much all we can cover for the MVP card. One thing also on that Max Holloway card with McGregor, I am upset. I just don't like that's headlining a pay-per-view event, right? It's a numbered UFC event, and that's supposed to be the headline. No championship fight on that, which I don't like. Come on, it's gold for a reason, man. If we're gonna have a numbered UFC, there's got to be a championship fight on it every single time.
I agree.
McGregor doesn't carry it the same as he used to,
Well,
especially with no belt, dude.
maybe one time in he will, just because he's coming back after all these years. I think
It's a one and done. And honestly, I don't even know if McGregor's gonna make it to the fight.
Yeah, we don't know.
To
that
be
yet.
honest,
Yeah, we don't
That's
know.
so far down the road.
Yeah.
There probably still going to be a hiccup and slip up. So don't even expect this fight to happen. To be honest,
You're right.
you know, because he's just so like it's yes and no, maybe so. It's always like fucking up these ups and downs. You never know with this dude. So I wouldn't even lock it in as a guarantee. So you would have to throw in the championship fight just for that, just to have that. In case it does fall through, we'll still have a championship fight to watch. Because if that falls through, the whole card's kind of fucked.
Yeah.
But on the bottom of that main event on that card, we have a debuter from a man we've been waiting for a long time,
Yes.
Gable Stevenson.
I cannot wait.
Yes, sir. The dude to take on the heavyweight division. I cannot wait, dude. That's the fight. Honestly, that's the fighter I'm more excited about Gable Stevenson than Conor McGregor. That's for sure.
Oh, me too. 100%.
Gable.
He just put some fire in the heavyweight division for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this guy, man.
Hell yeah.
Because the heavyweight divisions needs an
Need him.
infusion. Well, just like Pereira moving up to the heavyweight divition. That's beautiful.
Awesome.
If he's able to beat Cyril Gahn, he's made history. He's the best UFC fighter, statistic-wise, not as far as belts are concerned, in UFC history. 3 divisions, 3 championships, never been done before.
Never been done before.
I don't think it will ever be done again unless Islam moves up.
Right.
Right. But or
That'd be sick.
or Ilya. But for him coming into the heavyweight division, there's only 4 guys in the heavyweight division, like that we really talk about.
Yeah.
There's only 4.
Yeah.
You add him to this mix, and it makes it really interesting.
Oh yeah.
It makes it really interesting,
This is it.
especially for Tom. When Tom comes back, him and Cyril got to settle some beef because that's got to be settled.
Preach.
It's got to be settled.
Gotta be settled.
Gabe coming in, all you got to do is win 2.
Exactly. Yeah,
That's all
it's
you
like
gotta
a
do.
women's division.
Yeah.
Right? Win
All-
2, you up in there.
He win 2 fights. He's going to be challenging for the belt on his 3rd
Probably.
or 4th,
Right.
right?
I could totally see that.
Yeah. So there's not a lot of guys to look at. So this fight against Cyril and Pereira, super interesting
Super.
fight, especially for Cyril.
Man, I'm so excited.
Me too.
I'm so excited.
That's what I'm really, really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the White House card, but I'm definitely looking for that fight.
Yeah. So listen, that's all we got for the news, and we're gonna change it up a little bit. We're gonna come back at the end of the week with our second podcast of the week. We're gonna do 2 weeks,
Yes.
2 a week, and then in the next one we'll be talking about the next event this Saturday. We're gonna break it down, and anything else that comes up.
Yeah, and we'll also be looking for that top 100.
Yes, sir. Stay
Top
tuned,
100.
baby. But if you enjoy, man, please give us a likes, man. Subscribe, comments, give us your disputes, whatever it is. We love it.
Yeah, just talk shit if you want to, man. That's cool with us too, man. We don't take anything personal. We just want to hear back.
And honestly, I'm thinking right now we might just add a little comment section in the next one because we did have a lot of comments in our last podcast. You know, we'll probably bring it up later in our second pod this week, and we'll go over some of the arguments that we had because they were pretty interesting.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
Yeah.
Comment section.
Exactly.
That'd be perfect.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you for tuning in, and until next time.
Peace.
Later.